Hello everyone, my name is Christine, here for Marc-André Therrien, manager of Trevi Laval, and today I will show you how to maintain and operate your new Trevi spa. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you or point out for those who didn't know that as a Trevi customer, you have access to the Customer Access portal on our website. When you log in to the Customer Access, you'll have access to a number of documents that will be very useful for maintaining and operating your spa. You'll also find many videos that will help you operate your spa in the Tips and Advice section on our website. For example, you'll find tutorials on how to use one of the maintenance kits that you can find at Trevi, depending on the branch where you buy your products. There are also tutorials on how to change the fuses in your spa if one breaks, and so on. It will be one more tool to help you maintain and operate your spa. Another very important and useful website is that of our supplier, Gecko. Based in Quebec, they supply everything related to pumps and spa electronics. You can see their web address right now. This website is very well done. You'll also find various video tutorials. We'll come back to these later, but among other things, how to use your spa keypad, or in the In.Touch system that allows you to control your spa remotely with your smartphone, how to install the system properly, and how to operate it. In short, the website of the Quebec company Gecko, which manufactures many of the Trevi spa components, will be a very useful tool for you to operate your spa properly. To begin, let's look at the different steps you'll have to do when you receive your spa at home. Obviously, the delivery team will drop the spa where you've made your base. And once the electrical connection has been made by your electrician, the first step will be to find the cartridges. Depending on the model of spa you have, the cartridges can be found inside the skimmer. We'll look at the two types of skimmers that can be found on Trevi spas. Cartridges can also be found inside the spa, where there is what we call the pack. The electronic brain of the spa is, if you like, where the electrician will have plugged in your spa. So if your cartridges aren't inside the skimmer, they're inevitably inside the spa. To access them, the first step is to remove the skirt panel beneath the keypad. Depending on the spa model you have, there are screws you'll need to unscrew with a square-headed screwdriver. Now, some Trevi spas have larger screws that require no tools to unscrew them. You can do it by hand simply by removing the skirt panel beneath the keypad. You will then remove the polystyrene foam in front of the pack and reach inside to find the cartridges of your spa. If your cartridges are not inside your spa, it means that they're inside the skimmer. As I mentioned earlier, there are two types of skimmers for Trevi spas. The first type of skimmer has a grid. To access the cartridges, you will need to remove the grid. Of course, you need to cut the tie wrap to be able to remove it. Once this is done, you can access the cartridges and remove them. The second type of skimmer found on Trevi spas is tube-shaped. The cartridges are found inside them. To access the cartridges, you need to cut the tie wrap, then unscrew the retaining ring to remove the tube, which will give you access to the cartridges. You can now remove them. Once everything is removed, you can screw the retaining ring back on before placing the tube. However, don't put the cartridges back in just yet, because as we'll see, once we've started the spa, the first step is to do a thorough cleaning. Once we've found out where the cartridges are, the next step is to fill the spa. The spa must be filled from the skimmer. Take the garden hose, insert it in the skimmer, and open it to fill the spa. It's important to fill the spa from the skimmer to minimize air intakes inside the piping. When you start the spa, there will be fewer chances that the pumps will have trouble priming. So you always fill from the skimmer and you add water until the water level reaches 1 or 2 inches below the lowest headrest in your spa. When that level is reached, you can turn on the spa. Once your spa is filled, the next step is to turn it on. The first step will be to open the circuit breaker. Once the circuit breaker is on, you'll notice a light on your keypad. The keypad will therefore be activated and the pumps will run even if you didn't press any button. This is completely normal. The spa will check the condition of the pumps, the temperature of the water, etc. The water will start moving in the spa as soon as you activate the circuit breaker. Once the circuit breaker is on and your spa is running, the first thing to do is a thorough cleaning. As you'd expect, all our spas are factory tested for water tightness. Even if the spas are drained before home deliveries, there could still be water left inside the piping. So when you receive a new spa at home, you must use a pipe cleaner. There are several brands of pipe cleaners depending on the branch where you buy your products and what type of maintenance you use. Regardless, when you receive your spa, you must do the treatment. There are some pipe cleaners that you must let sit for an entire night and others that will need to act for a few hours in combination with other products. In any case, to know how to use a pipe cleaner, I refer you to our store clerks, and you must always follow the dosage that will be indicated on the cleaner's container. No matter the pipe cleaner that you will use to clean your spa when you receive it, some steps will always be the same. First, during the entire time that the products will be in the spa, you must always leave the cover open. These are powerful products, so you don't want your spa cover to wear prematurely or unnecessarily. The second thing that will also be the same, no matter the pipe cleaner that you use, will be to remove the headrest before adding the product to the water. As I mentioned, the products are quite powerful, so we want to avoid damaging the headrest. Finally, some cleaners create a lot of foam. So to avoid creating too much foam unnecessarily, you need to close the air valves of your spa. Once the piping has been cleaned, the spa must be drained. There are 2 ways to drain a spa. Firstly, you can do it with a submersible pump. We have different models available in stores, so you can buy one at Trevi. Depending on the size of the spa and the power of the pump, it will take between 45 minutes and an hour and a half to entirely drain the spa. If you don't have a submersible pump, the second way to drain a spa is with a drain valve. Trevi spas have 2 types of drain valves. Depending on your model, the drain valve can be outside or inside the spa. No matter the method that you will use to drain your spa, the first thing that you should do is to close the circuit breaker. If your drain valve is outside the spa, to drain your spa, you'll need to pull the plug a first time. When it's done, you can unscrew it, and when the plug is removed, you can screw the garden hose to drain the spa. When the hose is installed in the drain valve, to open the valve, you must pull a second time on the drain valve. When you pull on it, you'll see the water coming out of the garden hose you've unrolled. If your drain valve is not outside your spa, it means that it is inside. To access it, once again, you must remove the panel of the skirt below the keypad. When you remove the polystyrene foam behind the panel, look inside. There will be a transparent hose with a small valve at the end. You can screw the garden hose at the end of the hose to drain the spa. When the garden hose is fixed to the hose, there is a small valve that you must open to allow the water to flow out of the spa. When you drain a spa by gravity, which means by the drain valves, it can take between 4 and 6 hours to fully drain the spa. When the spa is drained, the next step is to clean the acrylic of the spa. To clean the acrylic, Trevi strongly suggests getting one of the different types of acrylic cleaners that you can find in stores. But no matter the one that you will use, it's always the same principle. You spray it on the acrylic and let it sit for a few seconds. Then, wipe it with a cloth. This way, you'll be able to restore the spa's luster to what it was before you applied the pipe cleaner. When the acrylic is thoroughly clean, we're going to repeat a step that we did earlier, which is to fill the spa. As for the first time, it is important to fill it from the skimmer. When the water level will be 1 or 2 inches below the lowest headrest, you can reinstall the cartridges that you removed to fill the spa and put the tube back on the cartridge or reinstall the skimmer grid. When the cartridges and the skimmer are put back in place, it will be time to turn on the circuit breaker. Once the circuit breaker is on, you can set the desired water temperature and start to add the necessary chemicals to properly sanitize your spa. So that's it for the procedures to follow when you receive your spa. Now, in this section, we'll look at the various components of your spa, starting with the cover. One important thing to note is that when the delivery team delivers your spa, they will install the lever if you have one. They will also install the cover on your spa, but they will not install the locks on your spa cover. It will be your responsibility to fix the locks on the skirt of your spa. That being said, there are a few things we need to address about your cover. First, how to open the cover of your spa. I know this may sound really easy, but to ensure you don't damage your spa or the levers, there are some methods that you must use. The method will be different whether you are alone or two. Ideally, if you can be two, this is the best way to open it. You'll stand on each side of the spa, fold down the first part of the cover over the second, and then remove the cover completely. If you're alone and want to use the spa, to open the cover, you'll start by folding down the first part on one side, then enter the spa to fold down the second part when you're inside. You must avoid, as much as possible, folding down the second part of the cover when you're on the side of the spa to prevent strain and premature wear of the lever or potential damage to the cover of the spa. So if you're alone, fold down the first part and enter the spa, then you can fully open the cover. Another important thing about your spa cover is that it must be opened as regularly as possible. Trevi recommends opening your spa cover a minimum of 30 minutes a day, even if you're not using your spa. That way, your spa cover won't wear out as quickly, especially if you have to add chemicals in your spa. It's very important to open the cover, start the pumps, add the chemicals, and leave the spa cover open for a minimum 30 minutes before closing it again. In this way, you'll ensure that your spa cover lasts as long as possible. Let's address the last thing concerning your cover. To minimize wear and tear, Trevi sells different types of cover cleaner and strongly recommends cleaning your cover as regularly as possible, since it will not only clean your cover, as the name suggests, but also protect it, and above all, prevent the vinyl that makes up your cover from drying out quickly under the sun. You'll be able to use it longer if you use a cover cleaner. Now, let's talk about the different valves found on Trevi spas. Depending on the type of spa you've bought, you may have one or two types of valves. If you have two, there will be a smaller one and a bigger one. If you have a spa that only has one valve, it's an air valve. So when you open it, it brings air into the jets and increases the pressure you feel when you enjoy your spa. If you bought a spa that has two valves, so with a small and a large one, the smallest valve is an air valve and the bigger one is linked to the neck jets under the headrest or to the waterfalls. So when you open it, it will open the waterfalls. Now, let's talk about the jets that we can find in a spa. The first thing that we can say about jets is that they can be opened or closed. It's worth pointing out, however, that even if you close a spa jet, there will still be a slight flow that will escape from it. This is to prevent stagnant water in the pipes. So even if you close a spa jet, there will still be some water flowing out. The same applies to your waterfall, if you have one in your spa. Even if you close the valve of your waterfall, there will be some water escaping from it. Secondly, as I just said it, you can close any jets in your spa. So if you want to have more pressure on one of the chairs, you can close all the jets of another chair that is associated with one of the pumps you have in your spa. This way, when you start the pump, there will be more pressure in the chair where the jets are open. Finally, all the jets in your spa can be moved. You can fully unscrew a spa jet and place it elsewhere in the spa depending on the type of massage you want and where you want it. So you just have to unscrew the jet and interchange it with a jet of the same size. You can customize your jets to improve your comfort and the massage you want to have. Now, let's talk about the keypad found on your spa. Depending on the spa model you've bought, there are 3 different types of keypad available on Trevi spas. There is the K1000, the K500, or the K300. Obviously, we can't cover all the different functions of the 3 different types of keypads in this video. That would be far too long. But to learn how your keypad works and what you can do with it, I invite you, as I said earlier in the video, to visit the website of Gecko, our keypad supplier. You'll find not only all the documentation relating to your keypad, but also many videos that explain all the different features of your keypad. That being said, there are still a few things I'd like to discuss with you about your keypad. The first one is the minimum filtration time of your spa. When the spa leaves the factory and ends up in your yard, there will be a minimum of 4 hours of filtration on your spa. All spas are configured to have 2 2-hour filtration cycles. Using your keypad, you can increase the minimum filtration time of your spa. However, Trevi recommends no more than 8 hours of filtration. It's just too much. So, depending on the use of your spa and how many bathers there will be in the spa each day, you may need to increase the minimum filtration time of your spa. If it's for normal use, you can leave it at 4 hours of filtration and all should be well. However, there may be certain circumstances where you'll need to increase your spa's minimum filtration time, and know that you can do this with your keypad. To learn how to increase the filtration time, you can consult the assistance section on Gecko's website, and there will be all the documentation necessary to help you increase the filtration time of your spa. The second point I'd like to discuss with you about your keypad is the filtration mode. By default, When your spa arrives at home, it will be in the filtration mode we call standard. There are other filtration modes. There's the economy mode and the super economy mode, but Trevi recommends leaving it to the standard mode. This is the best way if you want to ensure good water quality, filtration, and circulation. The last equipment I want to talk to you about is the In.Touch system. The In.Touch system is a product that allows you to control your spa remotely with your smartphone. For those who have balneo-lined spas, the In.Touch system is included with these spas. If you don't have a balneo-lined spa, you can buy one at one of our stores and install it on your spa. The In.Touch system always comes in two models. There is a module that is installed in the spa. If you have a balneo-lined spa, it will already be installed in the spa. There's a second module that you need to install in the home router. When both modules are installed, you can download the In.Touch 2 app. It's really important to choose the In.Touch 2 app using Google Play or the App Store. Download the app on your phone, and then you can control your spa remotely. Once again, especially if you don't have a balneo spa and you need to install one of the two modules in your spa pack, I invite you to visit Gecko's website. You'll find many videos that will show you how and where to connect it and how to control your spa with your smartphone. The last point I want to discuss with you in this video about the maintenance of your spa concerns water chemistry. First of all, the water in a spa must be fully changed every 3 months or so, because adding chemicals to the water will saturate it. And every 3 months, you need to fully empty the spa, put in new water, and start all over again. That being said, there are many ways to sanitize the water of a spa. We can use bromine, chlorine, chlorinating tablets, or granules. Trevi even offers different maintenance kits that you can use to sanitize the water of your spa. I'd like to talk about the 4 fundamental parameters for safe and pleasant spa water for bathers. The first parameter that I want to discuss with you is the sanitizer level. As I said, there are different types of sanitizers, but generally, there could be bromine or chlorine. So you must always keep your sanitizer level between 3 and 5 ppm. There's only one way to know if you've enough sanitizer in your spa water, and it's to test your water regularly. To test your spa water, there are different methods. You can use strips or droplets. It will give you the result of your sanitizer level. So if you're missing sanitizer, you need to add more. If your sanitizer level is between 3 and 5 ppm, you don't need to add any. Trevi recommends testing your spa water yourself at home 2 or 3 times a week to ensure the water is safe for you. Because if the sanitizer level is too low, the various contaminants may not be eliminated. So it's essential to keep your sanitizer level between 3 and 5 ppm at all times to ensure that your water is safe for swimming. The second parameter that is important to learn how to test and control is the pH level of your spa water. The pH is the measure of water acidity. You must learn to control the pH for many reasons, but there are 2 fundamental ones. Firstly, there's a direct cause and effect relationship between the sanitizing power of chlorine or bromine and the pH. Basically, the higher the pH, the less effective the sanitizer. That's why you need to avoid setting the pH too high. We aim for a pH between 7.4 and 7.6. These are the ideal parameters to ensure that the sanitizer you add to the water works effectively. It's also important to adjust the pH for swimming comfort. We want to keep the pH between 7.4 and 7.6 because the pH of your eye is between 7.4 and 7.6. So if the pH is too high or too low, it's going to make swimming unpleasant. Finally, it's also important to adjust the pH and avoid setting it too high or especially too low, because if the water in your spa is too acidic, it will make the water corrosive and will prematurely wear out the equipment of your spa. So you must once again use strips or droplets to test your water pH and learn how to adjust it according to the results you'll get. To learn how to adjust the pH of the water, it is always possible to read the dosage on the back of the pH plus and pH minus containers. But it's a good idea to ask a store clerk for advice. They are trained to teach you how to adjust the pH of your water. The third parameter that is important to control slightly less often than the chlorine, bromine, and the pH is the alkalinity of your spa water. Alkalinity is sodium bicarbonate. It must be adjusted approximately once a month. Alkalinity is added to the spa water to stabilize the pH. For this parameter, and as for the one we'll next see, the calcium, I strongly recommend that you come once a month in stores with a water sample so we can tell you exactly how much alkalinity you need to add to your spa water. The result that must be obtained when it comes to time to adjust alkalinity is about 100 ppm. This will ensure that we adjust our pH appropriately afterwards. The last fundamental parameter of your spa water that you need to adjust to ensure that the water is safe for the spa equipment is the calcium hardness. Calcium. We add calcium to the spa water to make it less corrosive. The goal is to have around 200 ppm of calcium in the spa water. Once again, as for the alkalinity, Trevi strongly recommends going in stores every month or month and a half with a water sample so that we can analyze it and tell you exactly how much alkalinity and calcium you need to add to your spa water to get the ideal parameters of 100 ppm for the alkalinity and 200 ppm for the calcium. These are the 4 fundamental parameters that you need to adjust regularly in your spa water. I tell you once again, the sanitizer level between 3 and 5 ppm, the pH between 7.4 and 7.6, the alkalinity around 100 ppm, and the calcium around 200 ppm. There are many other products that you can buy in stores. These are complementary products. I suggest you come in stores for more information and to learn more about the different chemicals that can make the water more pleasant to swim or safer for your spa. In this video, we don't have time to talk about all the different complementary products that you can add to your spa water, but I strongly invite you to visit one of our different branches and ask a store clerk to explain what the products are and what their advantages are. However, The 4 fundamental parameters, alkalinity, calcium, pH, and sanitizer levels, are impossible to escape if you want to ensure that the water is safe for you, safe for your spa, and pleasant for swimming. These 4 parameters need to be balanced as regularly as possible. And as I mentioned, you can come in stores with the water sample to have it tested. We'll give you a report so you'll know exactly what you need to do to adjust your spa water, and it's a free service. However, we invite you to learn how to test your spa water, especially for chlorine and pH, and adjust them yourself. Thank you for watching this spa maintenance video, and don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always contact our customer service via our help center at trevi.ca, or even better, you can come in stores. We're always here to help you. Have a nice swim.